my sons. He told them some awesome things. Don't tarry long at the wine. That's what common men do. They get drunk. They go into a rage. But that's not for princes. That's not for men that would be king. And then in the middle of all of his lecture to them about listening to wisdom and treating people right, he repeatedly comes back to this theme. In Proverbs, the phrase is the strange woman, not the other one. Strange does not mean weird, nor does it mean prostitute in all cases, in many cases in the first 7 chapters. Strange simply means someone other than the one you're married to, someone else. And so the only reason that this is listed here is not like, well, you can't help anything about the other woman, but the truth is, yes, you can. And if you're a man, you can avoid the other woman by simply understanding the dynamic that's at work in the other woman. Read the first 7 chapters of Proverbs. He describes what the other woman does. She flatters you. Well, there you go. With her lips. And she smells good, and she looks good, and she pays attention to how she looks. But most of all, she flatters you. And then when she's lacking anything else to do, she flatters you. And I'm embellishing a point to say she makes you hear what you want to hear about you. It would be, it's a good place to say this, although the topic doesn't demand it. But it's a good place to say this. I'll couch my words carefully. Self-gratification has been proven to be much less about lust for someone else as much as about self-love for the individual. Those who self-gratify invariably are convincing themselves that someone out there could love them even though their spouse doesn't. I have said before, I've made a phrase that into every man's middle years, there will come another woman, the other woman. I probably could say the same thing about women nowadays because we've changed dynamically so much in the last couple of generations. Every man and woman are both in the workplace. Almost every family is a 2-member working family, and we're always exposed to flirters and tempters and carnal people and people who have more lust than they have brains and so on and so forth. But I certainly know the dynamic is at work in men because of Proverbs and the relationship that Solomon describes very well. So basically what the other woman is she is a woman who fills in the ingredients that are missing from the wife. When the wife is not aware of the importance of the sexual dynamic, the other woman is, and she says so, she verbalizes it. Flatters with her lips is there a number of times. And so what she's saying is, to him who has probably resorted to self-gratification, I could love you. I could love you the way you are. The other dynamic at work with the other woman in the middle years is that by the time a man or a woman reaches middle years, they finally usually have become somewhat successful. Finally, they reach a place they're no longer scrimping to pay every bill, all the bills that they used to have. Finally managed to manage money. They've got some things going for them. They've got a little bit of stuff working right. They know how to dress, how to act, and they're not desperate like they had been in the early days. So they're confident now. And they've probably been promoted a time or two. They have their own business, and they're comfortable now. And in that comfort, they're not really recognized for what they have become. The spouse sometimes continues to hang on to what they used to be. And it's a very painful thing for a man to feel like he is always viewed by his past mistakes rather than for what he has become. The other woman, don't curse her, don't swear about her, don't call her a slut, don't call her any names. What the other woman does is she sees the man he has become. She cannot judge him for what he used to be and how many mistakes he made to get to where he is. All she sees is a successful man who has learned how to treat people, who's got a nice attitude, who is kind and respectful and somewhat successful, and that's what she sees. She doesn't see, well, if she knew you like I do, but she doesn't know you like you do, him like you do. So that's the power of the appeal. Solomon tried to warn his sons about it and wrote those first several chapters. Interspersed in there constantly is that other woman. And that's what he was trying to warn about, that's going to happen. And so the warning should not just be he wrote to his boys, boys, don't do this, don't go that direction, don't follow her. The warning should also go to the wife, and that is, that's what's going to happen if you completely stay stuck in the past. Don't stay stuck in what he used to be. Continue to accept him for what he is becoming and has become, and then you'll never have any competition, because the greatest competition is not the shape of the body or the money the woman has. The greatest competition, and Proverbs reiterates this several times, is what she makes him feel about himself, the flattering of the lips. And so the danger for the wife is, if you're not careful, you never let your husband live down the mistakes he made. You remember when you went bankrupt? You remember we couldn't pay the bill? Oh my God, I'm so tired. The light bills were turned off 3 times. I can't believe you don't remember that. He remembers everything. Stop. The other woman doesn't know any of that ever happened. All she sees is a good guy. And that's what he is attracted to. He's not attracted to her because the body, the sex, the money. He's attracted to how she makes him forget his past and be comfortable in who he has become. That's the damage of the other woman, and it will kill a marriage.